Okay, I'm going to draw a small stellated dodecahedron to get the process of drawing it down. I've got a circle and I've divided it into 10. You can use, I did it by construction, so I've got a compass set for the division by 5, and I've done it, I quartered the circle as well and divided it into 10, so 5 starting at the top and 5 starting at the bottom. You could use a Gunter scale or a proportional divider. Anyway, divide the circle into 10. And I'm going to draw a pentagram. I'm going to draw this first one in white. So that's all the even numbered points around the circle. So 2, 4, 6 and 8. Now all the odd ones, I'm going to start a couple of millimetres in from the edge and just draw a line to the centre. So a couple of millimetres in, line to the centre. Not the best pencil, I've got to find a better. These are Stellated Ergo Softs. They get blunt really quick and they break, little bits break off, but that's okay for this purposes because it's all going to get coloured. Now with the compass that's set to divide by 5, I'm going to draw a little circle, but I'm going to reduce that diameter by a couple of millimetres or so. Say 3 millimetres ish. And I'm gonna, oh, why is that not working? What I want is a circle that comes to about there. I don't know how I did this before now, but I'll just make it improvise, I guess. Anyway, I want a circle. These Technocrat compasses aren't the best quality. The smoothness of the threading isn't the best, but they're kind of okay. They're very rigid, that's one thing. So I want a circle, say 2/3 of the way down that white line, roundabout, doesn't really matter exactly, because it's just to give a bit of perspective. And I've marked the intersection with those white lines we've just drawn in. Now from the first pentagram, we're going to draw from each point to the from that point to each of the 2 points of the pentagram. So and now from the odd numbered points, I'm going to draw a line from the apex, what's it called, the tip of that star point, I can't remember the technical name, to the 1, 3 away, 1, 2, 3, just down to that white line, just down to there, and do that on both sides for each of those 5 points. Oh, why is that? Oh, I didn't come down far enough there. So we shouldn't be going right out to the edge, we should be before the edge. A couple of millimetres in, I've gone a bit wrong there, but it's okay. So a couple of millimetres in, we're going to that point. And again, this is just to create a bit of false perspective. Like, imagine there's a vanishing point somewhere right behind this in the distance. So this back pentagram, the one that's upside down to us, is slightly smaller than the one that's in front of us. You can see that there, hopefully. Well, if I hold it right. So that's all we're doing, we're creating a bit of false perspective. There we go. Now I'm going to colour that. I'm not going to do it all on camera because it's going to take quite some time. But there's a point here. I'm going to pretend there's a light source coming down from over my right hand shoulder onto this. So anything, right, any surfaces to the right, and you'll see what I mean when it's coloured, to the right and to the front I'm going to use lighter shades of the colour. I'm going to colour in 6 colours, 5, one for each point of this central pentagram point, which is coming at us. This point, this is nearest to us on the shape. And then the 6th colour is the one that's facing us, which isn't part of any of the pentagrams that are formed in that. But you'll see what I mean when it's coloured. I'll explain it better. Okay, you can see that for the very lightest colour I've chosen yellow for the top. The top pentagram, which is, think of it like this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that plane, and that's the yellow pentagram. So each of these pentagrams falls on a plane, like this plane. The red plane is facing us, and I just choose red randomly. Then there's a pentagram on this blue plane, which is on the side of this, facing away. And that, again, because of the light source, is to my left shoulder, over my left hand shoulder, coming this way. Then darker, I've chosen green for this pentagram. And when there's 2 pentagrams coming up, there's the darkest one here, because that's opposite the light source, is this purple one. And then a darkest pink that I've got for this one here, which is, well, when you start looking at this and you start looking at the same colour, it does give you that sense of depth that you need, and the planes that I found, rather than trying to just do this based on light value, it was a combination of light and colour that worked best for drawing this. The colour to distinguish each plane, and the light value just to give a little bit of a hint at a light source. So hopefully that works out. Thanks for watching.